Are still in the territory of characters in the show explaining to us what One Piece is. Captain Morgan's narrative purpose so far, my understanding, is that he's there to tell us Wagwan because he was explaining the devil fruit powers, and I love how he did it in not too much of an he didn't give too much away. He said, I thought these were rumors, in reference to the devil fruit powers, and he said some of them make you breathe fire, so they do exist, etc. So there was some mystique there, and it's nice because it gives the author creative ability to retrospectively make any power fixes later on should they need to, because the author's left it open. For all we know, in Oda's notes, there's a full list of how these powers work, which powers exist, like, can you have more than 2 powers? Maybe all of those questions are already answered, and maybe they're not. So that's exciting. I found that exciting, just from a creativity and writing point of view, that he's left it open, because it leaves intrigue for the reader, you know, like all those questions I just listed, like, can you have more than 2 powers? But it still gives the author like creative fixes later on, so they can do power pools later on, as people like to call them. Now, I think Kobe also serves that same purpose, because Kobe, he is like, oh my god, you want to go to the Grand Line? You want to be Pirate King? And he's freaking out, but he's presenting things in a comedic way. Because when you're writing and you're telling a story, you should show, not tell. But they are doing the tell, right, which you shouldn't do, but they're doing it in a comedic way. And I'm down for that. Like, the exposition so far, no complaints. Pacing so far, no complaints. Anyway, comedic presentation, yep, I've mentioned that. I initially thought there was going to be like a tension between Kobe and Luffy, but I don't think that anymore, because at some point in the episode, Kobe mentioned that he would, Luffy mentioned that we are friends. Luffy is a simpleton, and simpletons in shonen don't be breaking promises, unless if he's a great character, who knows, maybe he's, actually, let me not spoil another anime. Maybe he's a great character, but I just don't get the sense that Luffy's like gonna go back on his word. And if he said we're friends, we're friends. But hey, maybe friends fight, so maybe the big clash between Kobe and Luffy can happen later on. But I doubt it. If he's going to clash with someone, my money is on Zoro. The reason why is because Zoro's out here talking about that, yeah, I want to be the greatest swordsman ever. Luffy's out here talking about, yeah, I want to be like the big bad pirate king. And Zoro said he'll join the crew a bit quick. He'll join the crew, but he always said it as if it's his secondary priority. He wants to be the greatest swordsman ever. Now, humor me with this. What if in the How to Become the Greatest Swordsman Ever book, there's a list. One of them is like, master, get 3 swords in your mouth. No, 1 sword in your mouth and 2 in your hand. That's step 1. What if step 9 or whatever later on in episode 1000 is like, defeat the pirate king, or eat the gum fruit or whatever, or kill someone with the gum fruit? I don't know. Is there a guide to be the greatest swordsman? Is there? And will that impact him being a pirate later on? Can the two come to a clash? I don't know. But now that the more I think about it, there probably won't be a clash, because I feel like for him to be the greatest swordsman, he probably needs to defeat the current greatest swordsman. You know, the classic Ric Flair, to beat the man, you have to beat the man. So unless if Luffy decides to be the greatest swordsman, maybe that's when they clash. Or if Zoro decided to find the One Piece, maybe they clash. So having said that, scrap everything I said. Zoro and Luffy, they're not going to clash. When I was like preparing for this video, I was like, when I was watching, I was like, yeah, these two are going to have beef. But now that I've thought about it, they're not going to have beef. So scrap this whole review and just skip to my review for episode 4.